Clara Dao, once the internet's favorite poster child for body positivity and self-love, now the textbook example of what happens when an influencer's brand starts eating itself alive. The infinite snake, it doesn't stop. She built an empire on embracing her natural body and telling everyone to love themselves. But somewhere along the way, that message got tangled up in a web of contradictions, hypocrisy, and let's be real, straight up cringe. So what made fans turn on Clara faster than a dying TikTok trend? Before Clara was a social media powerhouse, she was just another girl navigating life, figuring things out like the rest of us. She first dipped her toes into YouTube in 2016 because it took 3 years to actually post her first video. Because consistency is for people who want to succeed quickly. That first video was a little self-help moment titled 2019. Do what you love, no more excuses. A little self-help moment, cute, but let's be honest, not exactly viral material. Then came the pivot. Clara realized that generic information wasn't paying the bills. So she did what all smart influencers do. She made herself the niche. Instead of hiding her naturally petite frame and flat chest, she turned them into her entire personality. And that was a genius move.
I am naked, completely and totally naked in this video. Of course, for safety reason, I cannot show my whole naked body on here.
The internet loves an underdog story. People eat that up like it's their last meal. Well, Clara wasn't just existing in her body, she was fighting for people who looked like her. She crowned herself the petite queen of body positivity and made it her mission to tell people to love themselves.
If you have followed me for a while and watched my other videos, you may know that back in high school, I was nowhere near where I am today. Like in terms of confidence and self-love, I struggled so much with just my appearance and myself.
This girl defied traditional beauty standards and made her own rule. The message was to love yourself, no matter what society said. The result was millions of followers, no viral videos, and an influencer career that seemed completely unstoppable. TikTok was her playground. She raked in over 3 million followers and 124 million likes, turning her short-form content into gold mines. And over on YouTube, it was even bigger, 4.3 million subscribers with 3.1 billion views. It was refreshing. It was powerful. It was kind of too good to be true. When you build an empire on self-love and authenticity, the last thing you want is for people to start questioning whether you're actually authentic. But that's exactly what happened. I'm not surprised. Clara's content started tiptoeing into body-shaming territory. Some of her videos gave off a subtle, I'm different from those girls energy, even when she was trying to promote inclusivity. And the internet wasn't the one to forgive.
1. Getting braces. 2. Going through a double jaw surgery. 3. Getting my eyebrows microbladed. 4. Getting rid of my acne. And 5. Stop doing stupid things to my hair.
Then came the viral takedown video. A YouTuber called her out hard, accusing her of being a body positivity hypocrite. They dissected her messaging, pointing out how some of her content low-key capitalized on insecurities while pretending to do the opposite. And just like that, the floodgates opened, everybody. Fans who once championed her were now calling her fake. The supportive comments were gone, and instead her replies were flooded with people demanding explanations. And once the internet gets a whiff of hypocrisy, it's game over. At first, Clara stayed silent, hoping the drama would blow over. But silence on the internet? That only makes people dig harder. Old clips were resurfaced, tweets were analyzed, and fans turned detectives started piecing together contradictions in her messaging. The ultimate betrayal occurred when people started realizing that Clara's empowerment was kind of just marketing. It wasn't necessarily a genuine movement. It was a brilliantly packaged brand identity. And once that illusion shattered, it wasn't pretty. With her reputation spiraling, Clara had 2 choices. 1 was to take accountability, admit where she was wrong, and try to rebuild trust. 2nd was to go full defense mode and dismiss the backlash as haters being haters. Guess which one she chose? She released a video titled Reacting to Hate Comments. A chance to set the record straight, right? Well, not really. Instead of acknowledging the valid concerns, Clara brushed them off as trolls looking for drama. This was a big mistake. There's a huge difference between shutting down pointless hate and ignoring legitimate criticism. And Clara, she blurred the lines between the two in the worst possible way. She laughed off the accusations. She acted like people were just jealous or misunderstanding her message. The whole thing came off as defensive and dismissive rather than sincere.
I'm just gonna leave it. Their profile picture, their name, whatever. Once, you have to accept that if you leave a comment on the internet, it's just gonna be there forever. Take accountability for your actions. Always. Thank you for the comment. So it's good for the algorithm.
And the internet didn't have it. She had the perfect opportunity to take responsibility and move forward. Instead, she dug herself deeper into the hole. Once fans lose trust in an influencer, it's nearly impossible to get it back. The influencer who had once been untouchable was now just another name in the long list of creators who had fallen from grace. Her career isn't over. She still has millions of followers, but she'll never be the beloved internet icon she once was. Because once the internet sees through the act, there's no going back. When the internet turns on you, you have two choices: fight back or vanish. And Clara, she pulled the classic influencer move, the great disappearing act. 1 minute, she was everywhere, and the next, poof, no new TikToks, no YouTube uploads, just an eerie silence. Naturally, the internet had questions. Was this a heartfelt break for self-reflection, a strategic retreat, or was she just hoping everyone would get distracted by the next influencer scandal and forget she ever existed? Who knows? When she finally returned, it was clear she had been busy behind the scenes. She made a whole video about it, ready to gain some pity. After this one, her content seemed to change slightly. The love yourself no matter what pep talks had dialed back. The I'm different from other girls' undertones faded into the background. And the constant body checking that made people side-eye her content was less frequent. Instead, she pivoted, focusing more on lifestyle, general self-improvement, and vague confidence building. It was a safe move, right? Wrong. No one was interested in her the same way. They had moved on and the views were dropping. Thus, she wasn't canceled in the way influencers fear. No complete exile on the internet. But she had become something arguably worse: forgettable. Is Clara Dao still on the internet? Yes, she is. Is she still making content? Yes, she is. But is she still the same Clara Dao? Not even close. Her downfall wasn't one explosive scandal. It was death by 1,000 contradictions. A slow unraveling where every little hypocrisy, every weird flex disguised as body positivity, and every ignored criticism built up until fans couldn't unsee it. See, when you build a brand on authenticity, people hold you to a higher standard. It's one thing for influencers to be fake. Most people expect that. But when you sell self-love like it's a personality trait, people expect you to mean it. And the second they start to suspect you don't, it's over. That's exactly what happened to Clara. She went from body positivity queen to just another influencer trying to stay relevant. Fans once defended her with her whole chest. Now, they're barely clicking. She still has followers, but her influence has evaporated faster than a limited edition influencer merch drop. She can keep making content, she can rebrand, and she can try a million different ways to win people back, but her reign is over. She might still exist in the influencer space, but she'll never again be untouchable. And her downfall is a free lesson for every influencer out there. If you build your brand on empowerment, make sure your empowerment isn't just a marketing strategy. Because once the internet calls your bluff, there's no rebranding your way out of it. Clara Dao's story is proof that the internet loves a hero until they start looking like frauds. She had everything from loyal fans to viral fame and a message people clung to. But when the cracks started showing, people ran. In the brutal world of social media, authenticity is king. Lose it and you lose everything. You can change your content, try a PR-friendly comeback, or even go full "that was my past self" mode. But once people stop believing in you, you're done. What do you say about that? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching.